Hello everybody. It's a nice morning this morning. Temperatures up in the mid to high 60s. It's kind of unseasonably warm for us in October. A little bit of a wind. We've got a front coming in, I believe tonight or maybe tomorrow morning. It's going to bring some more rain. I thought I'd do a quick update just to kind of show you what all I've got going on here on the homestead. End of October. Hopefully the wind's not going to bother us too bad this morning. Did get the door put on the hoop house here. All I've got left on it now is kind of tweaking the side rail, or the roll-up side curtains. I went and bought some fence top rail for those. Got one side half done, and still got to come back and do the other side that I started with the PVC. Let me kind of show you real quick how the door works. I did the door here in two parts. That way I can open up the top and leave the bottom closed if I wanted to. I've made quite a few gates and doors for buildings and all with this method of using the fence pickets. And I just take them and rip them down and all, but it always seems to be pretty sturdy and last a long time for me. Quick view inside the hoop house. I've got this old potbelly stove that I kind of quickly installed in here temporarily till I get the rocket mass heater built. This thing will heat it up pretty good. It's not a real efficient heat though. It takes a lot of work to try to keep a fire going overnight. We have enjoyed sitting out here a couple of nights and getting this thing cranked up and just kind of enjoying something different here on the homestead. Should be getting the rocket mass heater installed pretty quick and get everything going out here. I did get my garlic put in. I planted a couple of different varieties here in front of the hoop house, each side of the door. I'm going to look forward this year to see how it does in the wood chips. Been a while since I've done a gardening update. I'd like to show you around, show you a couple of things I've got growing here in the fall garden. You can kind of tell there we got quite a bit of rain the other night, and I've got more coming in towards the end of this week. Got several 10-foot rows of lettuce coming up. I've also got some just starting to come up inside the hoop house. Hopefully we'll extend our season on lettuce this year once this out here in the fall garden gets played out. Last year it never did. It stayed out the whole winter, and actually went to seed for me in the spring. Was able to save some seed. But if you know we get a really cold winter and this stuff ends up getting killed from a freeze or whatever, I'll have what's inside the hoop house. I've got a row here of spinach as well, and also I planted some inside the hoop house that's coming up pretty good. Got several rows of carrots as well. Carrots do real good for me. I struggled for years trying to get carrots to grow, and for some reason the last couple of years I've been successful at it. Here's a row of salad bow lettuce. Here's a short row of peppers that I let stay on and they're still producing, as well as a row of okra there that I've let dry to go to seed. I'll be collecting these here pretty quick. This is the beginning of a row of broccoli that I've got. You've got to forgive me a little bit, the way some of the angles I'm using is not typical of some of the videos I make. I'm having to stand at the edge of the garden because it's so muddy I can't get in there. But here's a row of cabbage. Here's a row of volunteer black-eyed peas that came up after I picked the ones that I saved for seed. Some of them fell on the ground here and I just left them here on the edge of the garden. Who knows, we have a mild fall and a late winter come on, we might pick a few peas off here. Nothing else, throw them in with some dried to have some fresh snaps. I think one of my favorite parts of this time of year, getting the fall garden going and all, is fresh collard greens. I just love me some collards. Got one lonely squash plant left still producing for me. I've left this in here. I've taken the rest of them out. The world's got up your butt this morning. Some little bit better pictures of some of the things that I showed you earlier. Cabbage, and then beet over here in the row next to it. Here's a row of radishes. Got a couple of 5-foot rows of radishes. I always plant too many radishes, dadgummit. But my wife loves them. I don't much care for them, but she can start eating these pretty quick. See how some of those are starting to split? That rain the other day came in, and they should have been picked probably before then, and caused them to split. Some of these are still good. This is called rabbit food right here. Hey buddy, you ready for a treat? Here, I'll give you another one, buddy. What you doing, huh? What you doing? I'll pay attention to you. They like them radishes. Well, y'all gonna be jealous because I was talking to the rabbits? You don't like radishes. Goofy things. Some more okra there that I'm allowing to go to seed. I'll be saving this seed for next year. It's a nice basil plant here that I've saved quite a bit of seed off of this year. What these do here, if you haven't ever collected your own seed before, these things will flower, and once they start to dry, I just take my hand and rake these things up, and you have seed. Here's a good example right here. Take that thing right there in my hand, pull up, and you can see the little black seeds right there. That'll grow a basil plant next year. Here in the middle garden, I've got another row of collards set back about 2.5 to 3 weeks from the other ones I showed you. And up in front of there, I've got, to the right there, I've got some bok choy. Here I've got a long row of turnips. As you can see, I had some little angels helping me plant these. Might have got those seeds just a little too thick, but that ain't no big deal. I can get in there and thin them out just fine. And then here's another row of collards here, about a 10-foot row, and they're set back 2 to 3 weeks from the other one. I try to do successive plantings like that, to where when one starts playing out, the other one starts coming on for me. Amongst some of the weeds there, here's a couple of rows, I guess 3 rows. I've got some more broccoli and cabbage planted. These are pretty late, not sure how they're going to do, but like I said earlier, if I have a mild winter like I had last year, I had cabbage last all through the winter time and produced huge heads in the spring. Even if they're growing slow for me, they'll eventually produce. Here in the middle, I've also got some more beets that I planted. They're going to come in a little later than the other ones. It's about a 4-foot, 5-foot maybe row of cotton. I've been told by the wife not to touch these. She wants these things to dry or something, using some kind of decoration she's going to do. Not sure what she's going to do, but you know, I grow tomatoes, corn. Heck, why not decoration? Got some volunteer deal that came up, and you can see my strawberry beds right over here. Got a lot of strawberry that's creaked in underneath that deal. I think I'm going to probably just clean that deal out of there and let this strawberry bed round this corner here. Same as the basil on the deal. You can let that seed head right there dry and harvest all the dill seed you want. There's some example there of some that's ready to be harvested. That's how I end up getting volunteer dill plants. I don't get it all harvested on time. Something new to me this year that I'm going to try is some artichoke. I've never grown it. Got a cousin that runs a nursery over in Sherman, and he had this couple of these plants that I bought. One's doing a little better than the other. One's died back to the ground, but you can see right in the middle of there, it's just starting to put on some new leaves. Here I've got my peanuts. I read, this first year on peanuts for me, and I read that I should wait till the frost starts to kill the foliage back before I go in there and dig them out. Definitely be doing a video when I do that. Also, I've got some Swiss chard here that's perennial for me. This is its second year. It actually, we cut it all the way down to the ground pretty much, and I've been feeding that to the rabbits in the summer. Just didn't really have a good taste, but of course in the wintertime it has an awesome taste. Still have some flowers lingering around from the summer garden. I've got some moss rose here in the stacked pots. Got a chicken hawk that's been kind of hanging around my chicken coop a little bit. I've come out a couple of mornings and thing's been sitting up on top of the coop. I've checked it out real well, and I don't think there's any way he could get in there. I'm sure going to keep a good eye out on him though. Just looking out towards the hoop house from the west side of my property. You see the grapes there in the foreground, and I've got the east garden and then the hoop house. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoy making them, enjoy showing the progress we make here on the homestead. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see y'all later.